Okay. All right, now think through math. You're going to get a paper that looks like this. It's going to tell you how many think through math lessons you have due a week. You have one lesson due. So like the second Friday of the school year, you'll have your first think through math lesson due. And then the next Friday, you'll have two done. Well, if you've already done one, you just need to do one more. So basically, each week you're adding another lesson. Week 1, do one lesson, you have one total. Week 2, do another lesson, you have two total. Week 3, do another lesson, now you have three. So where you see these numbers right here doesn't mean, October 12th, you're going to have to do 7 lessons. That means it's adding all up. One thing to really know is that when you log in, you're going to see these 2 circles. Just because you attempt a lesson doesn't mean you actually pass it. They have to be passing lessons. So it'll tell you if it's attempted, and this will tell you how many is passing. So this could be an 8, but this is going to be a 6, meaning you did 8 lessons, but you only passed 6 of them. Okay, so if we were here week where you're supposed to have 7, but this number said 6, you would get a 0 for that week because you're supposed to have 7 passing lessons. These are done for homework. You have to have internet access. If you don't have internet access, you can always come in during zero period to get your Think Through Math lessons done. You can't really do it after school because I coach tennis, so we have practice after school. And then I wanted to go back on Prodigy. Your new lesson for Prodigy is put on Prodigy the start of a new week. So you can't on Sunday say, oh, I'm going to go ahead and get ahead for next week and I'm going to do my Prodigy, because I don't drop the new lessons until Monday. So when you're wanting to do Prodigy, you can only start Monday through Sunday. Those are the only times you can do it. So if you're on Sunday, you can't go ahead and work ahead for this week. You have to stay in here. If you want to work for the next week, you have to start that on Monday. All right, paper homework. All righty. You're also going to have paper homework. Yes, sir.
I'm going to turn the lights on.
I'm recording a video.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll come back. I'm just checking if
okay.
There's any missing lights.
Okay. All right, sorry guys, that was custodian. He was coming in making sure my class was ready for the first day of school. Okay, so your homework is 10 questions. It's due every Friday or Thursday, depending on if we have school or not. So you get a paper copy, but you're actually going to put your answers in on Schoology. Now, the first week you get your homework, I'll show you how to do it, so don't worry. You must show all your work. If you have any answers circled, but there's no work shown, you don't get credit. You're going to turn your paper copy to me. If I don't get your paper copy, but you still put your answers in on Schoology, it's still a 0. I have to have your paper copy so I can see your work and make sure you actually did it. And you will enter in your answers online. So if you give me your paper copy of your homework, but you didn't enter in your answers online, it's a 0. So you have to do the paper copy, give me the paper copy, and enter in your answers online. And you can redo, which means if you get a grade you don't like, you can redo it. All right, moving on to grades and Skyward. Okay, so this is the grade breakdown. I'm just going to let you look at that. Basically, it means everything's not weighed the same. So if you notice on there, your classwork is going to be weighed the most. So that's what you want to make sure that you're getting done and you're taking advantage of. So that's how I weigh my grades. All right, Skyward. You guys are required to check your grades 2 to 3 times a week. That's per me. I kind of run my class like an avid class a little bit. I want to teach you guys responsibility and put that learning and grades back on you. The first probably 2 to 3, 6 weeks, I'll give you guys time in class to check your grades. I will show you how to do Skyward. We'll actually take out your phone. I'll put the Skyward app on your phone. That way you can have access to your grades. That way when your parents ask, they know that I showed you and you can show them how to do it. Also, anytime that I upgrade all the grades, so say like on a Monday there's only 5 grades, but then on Thursday I add 5 more grades, so you have 10 grades, I'll send out a message and say, hey, grades are updated. This is your current grade in my class. So if you're failing on Monday and I say I added in grades, you can be like, ooh, let me go look at my grades and then see if you're passing. All right, redos, tutoring, extra credit, and being absent. Now, redo is going to be really long, and I really apologize for this, but I always get a lot of questions about redos, so I'm just going to go through all of this. Okay, you can redo any work all the way up until grades are due. So if my grades are due on a Friday, on Thursday is the last day you can turn in grades, late grades. Quizzes and tests can't be redone. It's pretty much what all teachers do. You can only redo a grade that's below a 70. So if you get an 85 on an assignment and you're like, man, I really want to get 100, you can't redo that. But if you get a 65 or even a 68, 23, 53, 17, or 0, you can redo all of those. And I give you full credit. So if you get a 50 on an assignment and you redo it, and the second time you redo it, or the first time you redo it, you get 100, bam, I put 100 in the grade book. Make sure if you ever want to redo something, make sure you're contacting me and your parents not contacting me. Because remember, we're trying to teach you how to take ownership of your own learning. We're not in elementary school anymore. So I want you to take the initiatives. Please try not to have your parents email in and say, my child's failing. What can they do? I would like if you sent a message to me and said, hey, Miss Favalola, I'm failing. What can I do? Because that shows that you're taking responsibility of your own work. If you need to redo a warm-up, you need to send me a message on Schoology. And this one's going to be very confusing, and it's okay. I'll walk you through it. But if you want to redo a warm-up, you have to send me a message through Schoology, and I'll open up the Socrative warm-up for you, and then you can redo your Socrative warm-up, and then I'll change your grade. If you're redoing like homework on Schoology, you have to send me a message after you've done the assignment, because I don't, like if you redo something that's like a quiz is, I don't go in there and look and see if it's redone unless you send me a message. So you can't redo something and then 2 weeks later say, oh, I redid something, because I'm going to be like, oh, did you tell me? If you say no, I didn't know that you redid it. I don't have a psychic and I don't have a technology secretary. So just make sure you let me know that you redid it. But you have to send me a message. You can't say, hey, Miss Baba, I redid this. Baba, I redid this. You need to send me a message, because as soon as you tell me, I'll turn around and I'll help a student and I'll totally forget what it is that you told me. So anytime you want me to change a grade, you want me to redo something, if you think I made a mistake on something, which I'm a teacher, I'm human, I make a mistake, you need to send me a message. That way I actually get it. You can send me a message on Schoology. I actually prefer you to send me a message on Schoology if you need me to change a grade. If you have a question, you can send me a message on Remind. But if you need me to change something, send me a message on Schoology. And here's why. If you send me a message on Remind, it goes to my text messages, it goes to my cell phone. Okay? If you send me a message on Schoology, it sends it to my email. And I know that every time I open up my email, I see this message from you, and I don't delete that message until I actually get it done. If you send me a message on my phone, I'm going to have 15,000 text messages like I do right now. Well, the screen keeps. Like I have all these notifications on my phone. I'm going to forget, and I'm going to scroll all the way down, and your text message is going to be at the very bottom. So always send an email if you need me to change something. If you have a question, you can use Remind. Let's see here. You cannot redo Prodigy for a higher grade unless your grade was a 0. So on Prodigy, if you got a 35 on a lesson, you can't redo it. However, if you got a 0 on Prodigy because you didn't do it, you can redo it. And then if you don't have your passing think through lesson for like week 2, remember on week 3, you're going to have 3 lessons due. So if you didn't do this one, then this next week you're going to have to do 2 to make sure that you make up for the passing lessons you have. And remember, we'll go over all of this by the end of the second 6 weeks. You'll know all the kind of rules with Prodigy and think through math and homework, how to message me on Schoology versus Remind, that kind of stuff. All right, if you need help, extra credit. Extra credit is giving periodically during the 6 weeks. So I'll say, hey, we didn't get to this, or hey, some people are asking for extra credit. You guys are up for doing this, and you can do extra credit. If you want more extra credit, you must not have any missing work or failing grades that can be redone. So if you say, Miss Babalo, I'm failing, can you give me extra credit? The first thing I'm going to ask you is if you have zeros. If you have zeros, I'm going to say you need to get the zeros done. If you ask me, Miss Babalola, can I have extra credit? I don't have any zeros. The next thing I'm going to ask you is, do you have any grades lower than 70? If you have any grades lower than 70, then I'm going to ask you to redo those. Then you can get extra credit. So if you have no zeros in your grade book, if all of your grades are 70 and above, and you want extra credit, then I will give you extra credit. Now, if you get a low grade on a quiz or a test, but everything else is good, then yes, you can get extra credit. And then for tutoring, I actually do peer tutoring. So a group of kids come into my room that have taken my class last year, and they're actually your tutors. I found that students actually like having other students tutor them more so than having a teacher stand in front of the class and teach it to them the same way they've been teaching it all day, all week. So when we do tutoring, it's actually peer tutoring, and you'll get more information on that later. All right, if you're absent, here's where I really want you to start taking responsibility. If you're absent, I will not come to you like your elementary school teacher and say, baby, I need you to turn in your work. Here, baby, here's everything that you're missing. You're responsible to figure out what you need to do. So here's what you need to do. This is a list. You need to turn in any work that was due when you were gone. So if you were gone on a Friday and you come in on Monday, guess what? Homework was due on Friday. So you need to turn your homework in. You're going to come to me and ask me for the daily agenda. If it's not already printed out, I'll get the agenda printed out for you. That way you know exactly what it is we needed to do. Then you're going to check Schoology to see if there's any activities that I added, or check the agenda, and if the agenda says there are activities on Schoology, then you'll get that done. Check the extra paper basket, and I'll go over what that is for any papers that you might need, and then ask a friend. And then after that, if you still have questions, come see me. All right, organization. You have to be extremely organized in my class. If you're not, I'll teach you. So, what does that expect? Come to class with your binder every day. If you do not have your binder, I will call your parents. I am a binder zone. We don't get to slack off. You have to have your binder. Earbuds, colored pens must be in class every day. Check Skyward often. And if you have a question, please contact me. What does that look like? You're doing your homework at 8:30 at night. You don't understand something? Message me on Remind, and I'll message you right back. If you have a 0 in a grade book, but you turn something in, and you sent me a message on Schoology first, and I haven't changed that grade, send me a message on Remind, and I'll message you right back. Always, always, always use Remind. I don't want you to say, oh, I didn't know. I'm going to say, why didn't you message me? Love getting messages from my students, especially after school, because that means you're being proactive and you're being responsible. So message me when you can. I will respond if I'm not driving, if I'm not cooking, and if I'm not asleep. I go to sleep about 9:30 to 10:30. Yeah, I'm getting kind of old. So if you text me between 9 and 10 and I don't answer, I'm already asleep. All right, we're almost done, guys. Okay, here's my school email, the school phone number, and anytime you need help, you're going to message me through Remind. Expect calls, emails, and Remind messages for missing work, failing grades, and our behavioral problems. I will quickly contact a parent very quickly. So make sure you're on your A game. Now, I know that was a lot, but I'm not only your teachers, guys, I'm your coach. I want to make sure that you're getting prepared for life. I want to build your knowledge and skills in math class, but I also want you to take ownership of that and push through when it gets hard, because at first you're going to be very overwhelmed in my class, and then after that you're going to be like, I got this. And then when you get to algebra in the next couple of years, you're going to be like, this is so easy because Miss Favalola's class was so hard. My goal is for my class to be harder than that STAR test. So if my class is hard and you get to that STAR test and it's easy, easy peasy, then I've done my job. All right, guys, thanks for hanging in with me. I know this was a long video. Get your 3-2-1 sheets turned in, and let's have a fantastic year. Math with Babs, signing out.